No matter how old you are, whether you're 16, 18, 25, 37, whatever. This video is going to make a lot of people angry. For those who don't know, I'm in school right now and it is the last day of the semester. Summer's right around the corner. Everyone's getting ready to enjoy the pool, have cold drinks out in the sun with their friends, and go to the beach to enjoy the summer weather. On this last day of school, I park in the deck I am assigned and start making my way to class. As I start making my way to class, an old friend comes up to me and taps me on the shoulder, and I turn around. Once I see his face, I recognize him, and then I get an instant flashback to the last time we hung out. This flashback goes back about 2 years ago, and I start getting all these memories of all the stuff we used to partake in. So back in the day, we used to wake up, we would wake and bake, because that's how lost we were. We would get hammered on the weekdays with other friends because that was our definition of fun. I would be going to sleep at 4 a.m. and waking up at 1 p.m. most days, just wasting my life. Not only that, but during these times, I would end up developing terrible eating habits. The only time I found myself eating was under the influence of weed or alcohol. Every day consisted of chips, candy, cookout, Chick-fil-A, you name it. Ultimately, since I would only be eating when I was under the influence of weed or alcohol, I would be losing a lot of weight, and I weighed about 140 pounds during these times. Now I see myself today and I'm a completely different person, but I want to talk about my journey in a separate video. So let's go back to my friend. As I mentioned, the last time I saw him was about 2 years ago. As we start catching up while walking to class, I realized that he's slurring his words a little bit, and I noticed a stench coming out of his mouth, which I'm familiar with, and that was the stench of weed. And I thought in my mind, I'm like, damn, this dude's still doing all this BS? And I can say that because I used to do all that BS. But the difference is I bounced back from those dark times. So after we catch up for a little bit, I mentioned to him my plans of taking a couple classes over the summer so I could graduate earlier. And I asked him if he's ever taking any classes over the summer, and he said, "Nah, I don't have time for that shit. I gotta enjoy my 20s before I work the rest of my life." When he said that, I saw where his mind was at and where his priorities were as well. And I came to the conclusion that most men are lost nowadays. The rest of this video will be separated into 3 segments: the big lie, prime examples, and how you could change your life. Okay, so as children, we grow up to think your 20s are the best time of your life. Make the most out of it. With that in mind, most men today think that life peaks in their 20s, so they YOLO the rest of their 20s to try and enjoy their youth as much as they can. Since they want to make the most out of their free time in their youth, they will go out to bars 3 times a week, getting blackout, spend money on hundreds of drinks, try to chase low vibrational women, and wake up the next day not only broke, but next to a 4. Down bad. Many people, whether it was a female or a male, have mentioned to me that they've regretted a lot of the hookups they partook in while drunk because they weren't thinking with their mind, but they were thinking with their As the years pass, and now the people who enjoyed their 20s, did all this extra stuff, like went out, etc., now they're in their 30s, they now find themselves working in a job that isn't really satisfying. They aren't fulfilled in life. They're in an unfulfilling relationship because they couldn't attract a higher quality woman. When these people look at themselves in the mirror, they think to themselves, I hate my life now, but I had so much fun when I was younger. And if you think that way, bro, you're a clown. Like, straight up. I'm just being straight up in this video because many men live their lives like this, and I'm gonna continue. I just wanted to say this real quick. So I want to reiterate this. As children, the preconceived notion is that, oh, your 20s are the best time of your life, you need to make the most out of it. And I believe this is one of the biggest fallacies in the 21st century. You need to stop this way of thinking now before it's too late. The earlier the better, the younger the better. So basically, most men after their 20s believe that they have surpassed their peak because now they have all these responsibilities, all these bills to pay, they work a job that they don't enjoy working. But that is far from the truth. Women peak at around age 25 because that is the age where their looks start to deteriorate. While for men, they continually go up a scale and peak at around age 36 to 40, or even older depending if you put in the work when you were younger. But don't expect shit if all you do is sit on TikTok all day just scrolling mindlessly. There's a saying that women age like milk. and men age like wine, not only by looks, but what they're able to provide as well. So if you think you have passed your peak at age 25, you are out of your mind. At age 25, you could literally start a business, fail, and restart from scratch because that's how young you are. That's how much time you have at that age. Even at 30, it's never too late to get on the right path. Jeff Bezos released Amazon when he was 31 years old. He is 58 years old right now, and he's living the life of his dreams. This is why I'm saying the earlier you start, the better. It's definitely going to be harder the older you are to get on the right path of success because, as I mentioned, you have responsibilities such as bills, you have a 9 to 5 to go to. I'm saying this now, instead of going out, spending all your time partying to make the most out of your 20s, how about you grind throughout your 20s to enjoy your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, Like, dude, let me give you all a couple examples. Travis Scott, 30 years old. Drake, 35 years old. Leonardo DiCaprio, 47 years old. And they're all at the top. Not only are they living the life of their dreams, but they're making money doing what they're passionate about. Their purpose. Not only that, but they have an abundance of women as well. This is because when they were younger, they put the time aside, grinded, and it paid off in the long run. They didn't stop for instant gratification pleasures of, oh, let me go out Friday and Saturday so I can get blackout and attempt to attract these women and waste my time in the long run. They had a bigger vision and it paid off in the long run. Let's take Travis Scott for an example. In his youth, he had the vision of being a big artist one day. During his 20s, instead of going out, partying, whatever, he spent his time grinding to what he is today. Like, this man's got hella hits, bro. Shout out Birds in the Trap, Sing McKnight, his best album. With all that effort, grind, hard work he put in, blood, sweat, tears, and sacrifices he made, he's now one of the biggest artists in the world today. This same ideology can be applied to your life. Instead of doing this bullshit in your youth, you can take time aside and start working out, eating healthy, learning skills, starting a business. Next thing you know, you're in your 30s and 40s and you live in a penthouse in Atlanta. You have the body of your dreams and you have a 10 out of 10 partner who is also obsessed with improving herself. And since you have your own business and work for yourself, you booked plane tickets to London for you and your partner and plan on visiting countries such as France and the Netherlands. You don't have to worry about some boss or manager telling you, oh no, you can't take these days off, or oh no, we need you working here, we need you working today, we need you working tomorrow. You're far from that lifestyle because you put in the work when you were younger. You had the long-term vision of successes and freedom, and look where you're at today. I'm amazed at how many people live these miserable lives, and they all stem from what activities they partook in when they were younger and not willing to put in effort to do something greater with their lives. Your 20s aren't the best years of your life. Your 20s are the years of deep experimentation, gaining knowledge. Like, dude, these are the years to do whatever you want. Build a business. If it fails, who cares? You still have time to recover and try everything you've always wanted to in life, no matter how old you are, whether you're 16, 18, 25, 37, whatever. Are you putting in the work to live your real peak in those later years of your life? What do you do in your free time? Do you just spend the weekends consuming drugs and alcohol because you have nothing bigger to look forward to in life? Are you eating junk food on a regular basis, neglecting your physique and health? Because I know that feeling. I know the feeling of being down bad, and I'm glad I lived through it because I know what to avoid now. Take this as a warning. I'm addressing this because so when you're older, you avoid the path that most people go through of, oh, I work a job that I hate. I'm in a relationship that I don't want to be in. Because life should be lived to its fullest, and most people aren't living it to its fullest. Again, this all stems from what you do when you're younger, and you're 18, 19, 20, 21, going onwards. What are you doing today for your future self? I want you not only to be free, but to be satisfied with your life. So with that in mind, are you willing to put in the work? If you have watched this video till this point, it's a sign to make a change.